Heyo, and Happy New Year, gang! Welcome back to Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys so much for stopping by tonight for your first official Monday Night Raw review of 2018. And a new year brings new hope and new possibilities, and the WWE just doesn't deliver on anything new or anything hopeful. And we are here to talk about all of it right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby. The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do it. Happy New Year. Woo!
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Wrestling fans, thank you so much for starting off your new year right here at Sledgehammer TV. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My name, of course, is Nick Nightmare, and with me once again is the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. And we are here tonight to discuss the WWE's first offering of the new year on this January 1st, New Year's Day, but it does not feel like a new year or a new day, no pun intended, because we're not talking about SmackDown's tag team, the New Day. We're talking about the hope and possibility of a new day dawning in the WWE, but that is certainly not the case with tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, as we got more of the same shit. Now, there were a couple of decent segments tonight, but that does not make for a great show. You guys might have been fooled by all the tomfoolery going on tonight's show. You might have been blinded by Brock Lesnar being on and Paul Heyman pulling out one of the finest promos he's ever cut, which is something he's accustomed to doing. You should not be surprised by any of that. You might have been blinded by the fact that the club, the Balor Club, Bullet Club, whichever you want to coin them, were briefly reunited tonight. Where that's going is probably nowhere. And if the match they had tonight is any indication, they actually have no idea what to do with the Bullet Club, even when they have them together. We're going to get more into that as we go through the show. What else could you have been blinded by? The fact that we had a great Intercontinental Championship match? You want to call that great? It's the same old story. Over and over again, it's the same Roman match that makes us all want to throw up because it's just not today's style of wrestling. It's not what we want to see. We don't want to see Samoa Joe effectively being the beast that he is and dominating Roman Reigns for nearly 15 minutes of nothing but non-stop offense to lose to the 5 moves of doom and little to no effort by Roman Reigns. I couldn't stomach it. I can't stomach it. If they were going to make any changes on the road to WrestleMania, tonight was the night to do it, and they did not pull the trigger on anyway. What else could you have been blinded by? You could have been blinded by Matt Hardy and his brilliant performance, because every time he opens his mouth, it's entertaining, and it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Right? But we got to see where all this leads. That was a part of a segment tonight which included Apollo Crews and Titus Worldwide and Dana Brooke, who looks like a fat ripoff of Stacy Keibler, with this statistician bullshit coming out like a Miss Hancock wannabe, but only way worse. Way worse. Stock way down. If you're going to choose Stacy Keibler or Danny Brooke, who are you going to pick? Huh? I know who the hell I'm going to pick. Definitely not going to be Miss Piggy in a suit. A dress suit. Whatever you want to call it. All of a sudden she needs glasses. She's got her hair in a stupid bun. She's never looked worse. And then you pair her with these two other morons. I don't know where their head's at and what this is all about. She looks completely out of place, and it does not work. It makes her look even worse than before, and we all know where I stand on how good Dana Brooke looks. So let's not go down that road. You could have been blinded by the fact that we had Asuka facing off against the Raw Women's Champion tonight, which is a great match, right? Everybody wants to see that match. Why are they doing it for free on Monday Night Raw on a road to WrestleMania where that's supposedly going to be the end of the line for WrestleMania? Raw has Alexa Bliss as the champion. Asuka declared herself as an entrant to the Women's Royal Rumble last week. Alexa Bliss made mention of it at the start of the show as she was pleading her case to Kurt Angle to not have this match. If she wins the Royal Rumble and she's already gonna get a championship match tonight, what's the point? What's the point? Why are we having this match tonight? Because of a confrontation last week? It makes no sense. Asuka came out on top last week. She kicked Alexa Bliss's face clear off her shoulders. And now, what reason is this match being presented? Because Kurt Angle feels like we should have a WrestleMania match on the first show of the year? That's asinine. We're going to give away the WrestleMania Women's Main Event for free right now. How does that make sense to anybody? And that the atrocity that was this match does not end there. It has nothing to do with the match quality, but it has to do with the match booking. There is so much wrong with this match. You have the women's champion losing, which we all know how I feel about champions losing to their contenders prior to their championship match. It cheapens everything, and it makes the champ look weak. I know this is Asuka, and nobody is ready for Asuka, and she should look weak, but that means even more that now was not the time to have this match. Alexa Bliss has been on a tear. She has been on fire. She ended 2017 on top, and now she's going to have to build towards WrestleMania with Asuka. If they're having this match tonight, it makes me truly believe that Alexa Bliss is not going to be the Raw Women's Champion by the time we set foot in New Orleans for WrestleMania 34. Asuka's going to be in the Royal Rumble. She's going to win this Royal Rumble. Most likely, she is the heavy favorite. She is my favorite to win the whole thing. This Royal Rumble should be nothing more than a platform to launch the Four Horsewomen angle and Asuka's immediate placement into the WrestleMania main event to challenge for the Women's Championship. And then, of course, on the flip side, you have Asuka being booked in a match where she's not 100% dominant. She has been kicking everybody's ass. And sure, on this little run she's been having, there's been hiccups. Not in the fact that she's lost, but she's been made to look a little less dominant than we're accustomed to when we see her on NXT. She was taking bumps and making Alicia Fox look like a decent performer, and that is not there is not any truth to that statement. Alicia Fox, a decent performer? Absolutely not. I'm so fired up about it. You can see I'm tripping over my words here because it's just so stupid to have this match tonight for free. This was your WrestleMania match. Kurt Angle even went out of his way to say it. Why have this match? Why have Alexa tap to Asuka now at the beginning to the road to their main event contest at WrestleMania? Awful. Absolutely awful. These are all the things you could have been blinded by. You're not going to be blinded by a good match with Jason Jordan and Cesaro. First of all, Jason Jordan, our complaints with him has never been about his wrestling. His wrestling ability is fantastic. But when you don't care about the character and you hate everything about him as an individual outside of his wrestling, you don't want to see him wrestle. His placement next to Seth Rollins makes no sense. It's all leaning to the nepotism and the favoritism that the Bar was accusing Kurt Angle of at the start of this show. They are clearly right in their assessment. And the fact that Kurt Angle would not grant them their rematch on this night is proof even more that the Bar is right on how Kurt Angle is handling his adopted wrestling son, which is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. This whole show angered me tonight. It really did. Now, I'm going to go right to the points that I like. because like I said, I'm getting all flabbergasted here with this show because it was not a good show, you guys. It was not. It's not leading to anything. We had a couple of good segments. So let's go over the good segments. The good segments really only being the Intercontinental Championship match, only because of the way it ended. It was a decent ending to that match, even though we all knew that Roman Reigns was not going to lose the Intercontinental title. It was a decent match. Roman Reigns made Samoa Joe look fantastic. These guys have been wrestling all through 2017, so I expect their matches to be good. Samoa Joe looks like the absolute animal that he is. He should have won that belt tonight. They should have took it off Roman, gave it to Joe, and allow him to be on a road to WrestleMania to defend the Intercontinental Championship against literally anyone. And it would be fine with me. It would be absolutely fine with me. The other thing that I actually liked tonight was Braun Strowman's segment. Now, initially, when you hear, I'm a one-man band, and you know Heath Slater's coming out, he's going to be followed by Rhino. Now, in this case, Rhino was the competitor in the match, and Heath Slater was playing second fiddle. So I ask you why Rhino's music didn't play for the entrance of these guys. But that's just me nitpicking. I don't understand why Rhino's coming out to Heath Slater's music if he's going to be the active competitor. So I immediately assumed we were going to see Heath Slater versus Braun Strowman, but that was not the case. Braun Strowman would go out and challenge Heath Slater to be part of this match, and it would become a 2-on-1 anyway. So I did enjoy this segment only because of how dominant Braun Strowman just looked, and then the fact that the fans actually forced Creative and Vince McMahon to make the call to allow Braun Strowman to continue his destruction and repeatedly run a power slam Heath Slater and Rhino repeatedly, over and over, at the behest of the WWE Universe. They went to the graphic to close the segment. They played his music twice, and then Braun Strowman was just continually destroying this team. I loved that segment. That made me feel good just for a moment. I was like, wow, that's friggin' cool. I love Braun Strowman. That echoes everything we've seen from him. That whole segment made sense. The booking of that match didn't make sense. Here we have a guy on his way to a triple threat with the useless Kane and the fearsome, dominant, reigning, defending Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. I almost didn't do that right. I apologize. And he's fighting Rhino, who's on a quest to toughen up Heath Slater. And he takes this match to prove what? That he needs toughening up too? Because nobody's as tough as Braun Strowman. I don't get it, you guys. I didn't get it at all. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was one of the better segments on the night. Because everything else that happened tonight just absolutely disappointed me. Now, Jason Jordan and Cesaro, they had a decent match, yes. But Jason Jordan wins this match, so I immediately just can care less. It doesn't matter. It's pointless. It's leading us into another matchup between the Bar and them for the tag team championships. And if the Bar doesn't win, then I don't care. Because I don't like seeing Jason Jordan in a random tag team with Seth Rollins, and then he's walking around with this sense of entitlement, and the only part of this whole entire thing that I enjoyed was when Seth Rollins came down prior to the match and pretty much put Jason Jordan in his place, and he's pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, but saying, hey, listen, kid, you need to smarten up because you're acting like a jackass, and you don't understand that you have a partner. Like, I'm supposed to have your back. You're supposed to communicate with me before you come out here running your mouth, getting yourself into situations that you can't handle. You're going to get yourself jumped by two guys right now. So you know what? I'm going to come out here and I'm going to stand in your corner to make sure that doesn't happen. But you need to smarten up. You're too self-absorbed right now. And I'm only really out here to watch you lose this match because that's the only way Seth Rollins seen the match ending. I enjoyed all that. And what played even more into that was after the match when Jason Jordan was victorious. Seth Rollins was outside at the ramp with his fist out to be like, hey, fist bump, you know? And Jason Jordan left him hanging. after Seth Rollins was instrumental in causing the distraction on the outside of the ring by attacking Sheamus that would allow Jason Jordan to gain the advantage over Cesaro and get the win in the first place. He would have never won that match had Rollins not been on the outside. And then he totally disses him on his way out. And you could clearly see the disappointment and the anger in Seth Rollins' face. Now, this does lend a little bit more intrigue to this angle, and I'm interested to see how far they're going to take it. But in the end, what is it going to do? Is it going to be the heel turn of Jason Jordan? Now that we have to wait for Dean Ambrose to come back, they're going to turn Jason Jordan heel instead? I wouldn't be opposed to that, per se, but I just don't think the kid has the charisma to pull off a heel. I don't. He absolutely sucks all the talent out of the room when he opens his mouth. But when he performs in the ring, he is pretty damn good. And I need it to progress to a point where he's not Kurt Angle's son anymore, and we could just forget all this happened. And then maybe I'll be more forgiving on a Jason Jordan match. Bray Wyatt versus Apollo Crews. We talked about Matt Hardy coming out on the Titantron at the end as Bray Wyatt stood victorious over Apollo Crews. And I really enjoy the imagery of these two guys against each other. The fact that he was on that screen and behind him was pretty much just a pure white background. And everything that Matt Hardy said was alluding to the fact that he is going to turn all of Bray Wyatt's darkness into the light. He's taken the Fireflies and turned them into Woken warriors. And he himself, Bray Wyatt, is not safe from the Woken wisdom of Matt Hardy. And he is not afraid of Bray Wyatt. And it was just a great promo, but that's what it's all about. And then it does the glass shattering and the Woken. And I'm all about it. And I like how they're building it that way. So I'm going to forgive this match with Apollo Crews. I just think he would have been better served in a match where maybe he could win and let's get this guy over. Because what does it really mean for Bray Wyatt to beat Apollo Crews? Does that make him seem threatening? No. Does that make him seem like a winner now? Because he's not actually losing? At least he didn't get his shoulders pinned to the mat. We could be grateful for that. But what is the point of a win over Apollo Crews for a talent as big as Bray Wyatt? I thought he was past that part of the roster, but I understand they're trying to build the story without having too much conflict between them. They're probably going to face off at Raw 25 for the first time and then probably have a follow-up at the Royal Rumble. I'm not sure where this is going to culminate, but I'm going to be patient with it. I just didn't like the match with Crews because I never like to see anybody from Titus Worldwide. We talked about the Women's Championship match. This was a decent match. The girls had a great match. This was just not the time for that match. And now we're going to talk about something that I really don't understand. Now, don't get on my case. I understand what the Cruiserweight division is. And if you also understand what the Cruiserweight division, you may not understand where I'm about to come from with this, but the fact that you have a roster of Cruiserweights at your disposal, and Cedric Alexander needs a partner, and you pull out Goldust? Now, I am not opposed to seeing Goldust. I have very many times on this channel stated to you guys, I love Goldust. I want to see him be the old Goldust. I would absolutely love if they took Goldust and sent him down to NXT specifically to have a match with the Velveteen Dream Patrick Clark. They are mirror images of one another. It would be absolutely fantastic television. The mind games between these two. The psychological warfare that Patrick Clark has proven to be a master at with his angle with Aleister Black all of last year. Him versus Goldust, fantastic. I would be all for it. If you wanted to bring the Velveteen Dream up just for that match and then send him back down, I'd be all for that. If you want to have them face off in the Royal Rumble this year, epic moment. Epic moment. But he has to be the old Goldust. He has to be that vicious, killer instinct Goldust that didn't care about getting disqualified, wasn't worried about making the fans laugh, wasn't worried about being in a tag team with Asuka putting up pictures of little praying cats. Please, Asuka, be my champion, begging like a desperate jerk, as entertaining as it might be. I want the old Goldust. And you put him against this kid, it'll be magical. But what do we get? We get Goldust in a random match. Why is he backing Cedric Alexander? What in God's name would compel Goldust to go out there and ask Cedric Alexander to be friends? And then have his back in this match against two guys that combined don't weigh as much as Goldust. What is this match? Why is Goldust wrestling in the Cruiserweight division, but you can't have Neville wrestling for the Intercontinental Championship against a guy like Samoa Joe back when he was on the roster? You can't have guys like Cedric Alexander wrestling guys like Finn Balor on the main roster, but you could take Goldust and throw him in the Cruiserweight division, which makes zero sense. I know the Cruiserweight division is not about weight limits. It's really not, but the WWE made it clear that it is for them about weight limits. By titling the Cruiserweight show 205 Live, you've effectively closed that window to use bigger talent in your Cruiserweight shows. It's supposed to be 205 and under. Weight limit. I don't know. I didn't get it. And I don't think I'll ever get it. Just like I don't get why they even bothered to form up the Balor Club tonight. What the hell makes the Miztourage so fucking special that they are the reason for the reformation of the Shield? And finally, our seeing the formation of the Bullet Club on WWE TV. Why? Why for this? Why not take the club and had them go against the Shield? You had them all underneath the perfect umbrella all this time. Before Roman got sick, before Dean got hurt, you had all the pieces to pull this off. You still can do this. There is still hope that we can see this somewhere down the line, and that maybe the confrontation with a club faction, whether it be with AJ at the helm or Finn at the top, doesn't matter. But they might be the catalyst for the true second breakup of the Shield if that reunion ever really gets restarted when Dean Ambrose comes back. Who knows? There is always that possibility. But instead we're getting the club versus the Miztourage in the main event match of the night. The Miztourage. Now, we all know that I love Elias Sampson. I want to walk with Elias every single Monday night. But every time they put him with these goons, I don't give a damn about how funny they're trying to be singing stupid songs before the match. The singing of the song should only be done by Elias. Having these two jerk-offs out there infringing on his act is weighing him down, and it's annoying to me. First of all, Bo Dallas is a talent who by himself could be extraordinary. With the incoming storyline of Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy, when Jeff Hardy comes back, if he does stay with his brother and become Brother Nero, even for the shortest amount of time, just to get the Woken universe off its feet, and then maybe he could revert back to Jeff Hardy at any time he wants. Maybe he could do both simultaneously. Who knows? What better person would there be for Bray Wyatt to bring than his own brother? Finally involve him in the Wyatt family. Get Bo Dallas over in this family war. It's not some random pairing of two big men that Bray Wyatt's brainwashed. This is his legit brother going up against Matt Hardy and his legit brother. These are the things that they should be thinking about putting together. Why I can do that sitting here at my little desk in my basement apartment, and these guys that are getting paid thousands of dollars can't put these pieces together for a decent Monday Night Raw on a road to WrestleMania that could be epic. I don't know. Instead we get Bo Dallas still in the Miztourage, even though the Miz has been gone, and now, they're hyping the Miz coming back next week. Who cares? He's been gone for like 2 weeks. He's only been gone 2-3 weeks tops. The Miz returns. Doesn't even feel like he left, especially since the Miztourage has been running around with their version of Miztourage 2.0, or whatever you want to call it, adding Elias Sampson in part of The Miz. This is what we get instead. The Miztourage. What makes them so formidable that we need to get the Shield to take them out? That didn't work. The wrestling gods frowned upon that, made Roman Reigns sick, and now hurt Dean Ambrose because the Shield coming back in any way right now makes no sense. To just beat up the Miztourage. Then have Roman Reigns take the Intercontinental Championship on a road to WrestleMania that has already been planned out since last year. We all know what's going to happen, and none of us want to even see it happen. But everything that we see on this night makes it even more of a guaranteed scenario. Especially when you want to talk about the main event. The main event tonight, it wasn't a match. It was the appearance of Brock Lesnar. Like I said, Paul Heyman comes out and absolutely nails it, like he always does, making everybody in the situation seem like a valid competitor while at the same time making Brock Lesnar sound like the serious, most badass person you will ever meet, and you will never survive even at so much as a handshake from this man because he will just eat you alive. I love everything Paul Heyman has to say. He's fantastic at his job. We know this. We're not going to keep talking about it over and over and over again. But then to have this segment wasted on an arrival of Kane. Again, Kane in the main event segment of the evening. Mind you, Braun Strowman was shown in the back watching Paul Heyman's promo. And then you have Kane come out, deliver a choke slam, unchallenged, uncontested by Brock Lesnar. Just choked, picked up, choke slammed. And then you have Brock Lesnar, after Kane exits the ring, sitting up like The Undertaker and laughing, which was great. Because I was laughing at the fact that they think Kane even matters anymore. I think that might have been what he was laughing at. Like, they think this is what they want to see. This is the most hysterical thing ever. I am going to sit up and laugh my ass off. Bravo, Brock Lesnar. I'm all for that. It was great. Brock Lesnar's reaction. But then, the Raw locker room empties out before the brawl ensues. Like, Kane is clearly on the outside. Brock Lesnar's nowhere near him. And the locker room emptied. And Michael Cole, like a jackass, says, "Oh, here comes the Raw locker room to stop the melee. To end this brawl." What brawl? They were nowhere near each other. These guys came out too early because they probably went over and they had to end this show. So before Brock and Kane could even get into a scuffle on the outside, we had superstars everywhere. Which made everything that happened after the fact even less special. And it just looked like a botched ending to the show. Didn't come off too well. I don't give a shit about Kane's involvement in this whole entire match. This is nothing more than what we're seeing with Roman Reigns. They're trying to make Brock Lesnar look as strong as possible so that when we get to WrestleMania and Roman beats him, people believe that Roman is a monster killer. He's the Beast Slayer. They're going to give him all kinds of monikers that he doesn't need and he doesn't deserve and that nobody wants to hear and nobody wants to see. Do you guys realize that this month alone, the number one seller in merchandise has been Rusev? Vince McMahon is known and has been on record to say, if you sell merchandise, you will be a top star in this company. Do you know who doesn't have any merchandise in the top 15 spots? Roman Reigns. I learned that from JD on Off the Script this weekend. I had no idea that was even a fact. But it is a fact, and it's a disgusting fact, that the only item on that whole list that can have anything to do with Roman Reigns is the Shield's new t-shirt, but they're not buying that because Roman's on it. They're buying it because it's Roman Reigns Rollins and Ambrose. That has nothing to do with him directly. And it wasn't even that high on the list. AJ Styles was on the list twice. At least he's WWE Champion right now. Jinder Mahal's not on that list. There's a lot of people not on that list that the WWE feels deserves to be featured and highlighted. I read earlier on Twitter today that John Cena is teasing, I don't know if he's teasing or if he officially announced that he's declaring himself an entrant into this year's Royal Rumble. I don't even want to talk about this. I don't even want to try to wrap my brain around the fact that this man is going to ruin the Royal Rumble. I almost feel like Roman Reigns is going to end up in the Royal Rumble as well. And then you're going to have it end up Cena and Reigns as the final two in the middle of Philadelphia. And the crowd's going to go absolutely insane and not in a good way. And if you're from Philadelphia, and if you're watching me right now and you are going to the Royal Rumble at the end of this month, if either one of those two men make their way to the ring, I implore you to stay completely silent. Don't even boo. Because they're using that shit as a reason to keep these guys on top. Well, they're getting a reaction. So how about we all just stay quiet, huh? Be like, oh, this guy. Try it. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll make the WWE understand that, oh, maybe they really don't care. Because, you know, we sit there and we boo and they think we're booing and that makes us feel like we're part of the show. We boo him because we want to boo him. We don't want to boo him. We don't want to boo him the way we are booing him. It's just more nonsense. Nothing has changed tonight. Absolutely nothing changed on Monday Night Raw tonight. Except they made the women's champion look terrible. They are insistent on this Roman Reigns Intercontinental Championship belt. If Samoa Joe didn't take the belt from him tonight, nobody's going to take the belt from him before WrestleMania. And he's going to be crowned a dual champion in New Orleans, which nobody wants to see. A ridiculous cruiserweight segment. A horrible use of the club. And I doubt we'll ever even see it again. Do you see how quick that match was? That wasn't by mistake. That was orchestrated by Vince McMahon. He knows for sure that these guys are going to garner some sort of reaction and gain momentum just by being placed together. So he had to have the match be as quick as possible. It was not a showcase for the club in any way. And while I'm on that subject, I know I can't be too down on the crowd. Miami's usually a pretty good crowd. The American Airlines Arena was all right tonight. They were there at least, but for some reason during this match they were not. It's like they didn't even really care too much that the Bullet Club was there. There was a lot of silence during that match, and I'm going to attribute that to the fact that they must have been just absolutely fucking exhausted from that Intercontinental Championship match. It was a lot to take in. It went almost 20 minutes. You know, they had 2 commercial breaks in between, which pissed me off. This is an Intercontinental Championship match. You think I'm going to think you guys think it's important if you want to keep going to commercial break? 10 o'clock hour hits. Michael Cole introduces the show. Like, hey, if you're just joining us, here we are in the middle of this Intercontinental Championship match. We got to go to commercial. Like, why did you come back from the show, from commercials to the show, to go back to commercials again in the middle of such an important match? And while we're talking about timing and pacing, the spots where they chose to put the women's entrance into the Royal Rumble, where they had Sasha Banks declare that she's going to be in the Royal Rumble, they had Bayley declare that she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Of course you're going to be in the Royal Rumble, you nitwits! Kurt Angle announced at the start of the show that the Women's Royal Rumble was going to be 30 women. The WWE don't even have 30 women. You don't have 30 women on the main roster to fill the Royal Rumble. Hence, we're going to have legends come back. Hopefully, we see Trish Stratus and Lita in that Royal Rumble. Other than that, I don't want any other legends to come back. We're probably going to see some NXT call-ups, and I'm good with that. Maybe some Mae Young Classic competitors come back for a one-off just to be in the Royal Rumble. Great! I'm all for it. So why are these girls coming out? I'm declaring I'm going to be an entrant in the Royal Rumble. Of course you are, you idiot. Those segments were pointless, and where they chose to place them made them even more awkward, and it just totally felt out of place. Bray Wyatt comes out, does his whole entrance, so now you're getting in the mental headspace to be watching a Bray Wyatt match. They come back from commercial and show you Sasha Banks. Hey, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. Duh! No fucking duh! You're going to be in the Royal Rumble. Everybody's going to be in the Royal Rumble. You know what you should be announcing? Girls that don't want to be in the Royal Rumble. That would be a much shorter list. Have somebody like Carmella, you know what, I don't want to be in the Royal Rumble. I got my money in the bank. I don't need a shot at WrestleMania. I'm good. I'm declaring that I'm not in the Royal Rumble. How about that? Because that's all you need to do. Otherwise, every other woman is in the Royal Rumble. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell me you're going to be in a match that I know you're already going to be in. That's it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap it up on that note. Obviously, a lot of shit pissed me off tonight. A decent show wrestling-wise overall, but a lot of things went wrong tonight. And I have no faith that they are going to right the ship in any way. So we are going to prepare ourselves to see some Shinsuke Nakamura tomorrow night. Hopefully they start to lead him on his road to winning the Royal Rumble and going to face off against the phenomenal one, the World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles. That dream match is still very much a possibility. Every time I think about John Cena and Roman Reigns being in the Royal Rumble, I know that possibilities, chances drastically decrease and do not improve at all. But we're not going to jump the gun, and we're going to have to wait and see. And that's going to do it for tonight. Do not forget to join us tomorrow night for the first SmackDown review of 2018. We ended off the year pretty big. We did a couple of 2017 lists. We went over WWE's choices for the top 25 matches of the year, and I gave you guys my 5 favorite NXT matches, the top 5 matches in NXT all year, because once you talk about NXT and the matches that are going on over there, there's no reason to talk about anything really that happened in the WWE, because they don't hold a candle to NXT, because that's where the real shit went down all year long. And I'm not just a mark for it. I love wrestling. NXT does wrestling. WWE and main roster, they do sports entertainment. So it's maybe not fair to judge one against the other, but NXT was spectacular. Go check out my 5 favorites. They are live on the channel right now. We have lots of stuff at the end of the year, but the beginning of this year is crucial, and I need you guys to play a major part in that. We did not fulfill our expectations, and we did not reach our goal of 500 by the end of the year, but we want 500 subscribers by WrestleMania time this year, and we begin that march right now. We are not going to let failure deter us. If you learned anything from watching The Last Jedi, you know that failure is the best teacher, and we learn from that, and we grow based on how we fail in life, not how we succeed. So my failure to reach my goal makes me here pleading out to you guys. If you are new to this channel and you are here at the end of this review because you thought this was awesome and you agreed with everything I had to say and you like my layout, maybe you like Seth, maybe you like my little mask collection, my Ric Flair autograph, my Al Snow wrestle tune, my Sonya Strong, I don't care. Maybe you love blue more than you love me, maybe you like my hat, whatever the reason is, smash that like button for me, and please hit that subscribe button. Join the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show family. The Sledgehammer TV Club is growing strong. Every single day we gain more, and we are going to take over the world of YouTube. We need you guys to help us do that. Hit that subscribe button, share this video, like this video, hit that notification bell so that every time a video drops, you will know. It'll go off, it'll ding, it'll ring, it'll boop, bop, whatever sound you decide to use for your ringtones, right? It's going to go off in your pocket, on your laptop, on your TV, wherever you watch this show. You will be notified that a new show is dropped. All you got to do is hit that bell. Drop kick it right in the bell sack and do that for me. It's the best possible way you can support this show. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Nightmare. Check us out on Facebook at The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, facebook.com/The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, all one word. And don't forget to check out this show's fine little sponsor, Clutch Chairs. Link will be down in the description below. WWE chairs, all kinds of great merchandise for your office, and good furniture, good chairs, good tables, good desks. Go check it out. It'll be worth a look. It's the least you could do. Just go take a look. You don't got to buy shit. But if you decide to buy it, make sure you do so using that link. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue, the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of microphones, ringing in 2018 big. This is Seth Rollins. That's Bobby Roode. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys so much. 2017 was awesome. Let's make 2018 even better. That's going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Tomorrow, you guys, SmackDown Live. Be there or be square. Have a good one.